As I dig deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole of the eBay recently sold items, looking at thousands of recently sold football cards. I'm coming back at you with the top tips and tricks and insights from around the Quest Nation, looking at some incredible comments from some Quest journeymen, some studs on the Quest for a long time, sharing the insight in the comments of the last video and answering your questions, and looking at the remaining contestants of the Card Quest Investor Championship. So let's dig in. All right, let's first start off with the tips. And this first tip is coming from the man, the myth, the legend, David Hunter. And his comment is that the importance of your title. Lots of times people may be searching for a specific card, so they'll do the year, the card brand, the card number, and the player. Myself, I like to just type in the year and the player. And so he gives an example. 1987 Donruss Mark McGwire PSA 10 isn't going to catch his eye like a 1987 Donruss number 46 Mark McGwire PSA 10 rated rookie logo. Or people simply misspelling a player's name, such as David Mills instead of Davis Mills. And there is a website that actually goes through eBay and scours for misspelled listings, and misspelled listings can go incredibly underpriced. So check out this fat-fingered website that you can go to and look for misspelled listings. But this is something that I've seen. So, for example, when I was looking up Trayvon Diggs, who is an incredible defensive back right now in the league and intercepting the ball at an incredible pace, there was quite a few listings where people had misspelled his name and put Trevor Diggs, and those listings went well under market value. So as a seller, make sure you're including as many specifics as possible, and make sure those specifics are extremely accurate and precise. You want to be as accurate and precise as you can as a seller, and as a buyer, understand that there are a lot of sellers out there that do this, that accidentally mislabel their items, or they spell something wrong. And knowing this, you can take advantage of this just by looking on eBay or by using a service like this Fat Fingered website. All right, this tip is coming at us from Raleigh Al, another longtime stud on the Quest. And his tip is simply to build rapport, pay it forward, write correctly, which that goes along with David Hunter's tip as well. Don't take card pictures when at work with a card on your keyboard. And we kind of talked about that. And in just a second, I'm going to show you guys how I take pictures of my cards. He also mentioned that buying a seller's $1 card after a big sale falls through will build rapport. Your tips on lighting were awesome, and I didn't know about the one-touch effect. Yes, the one-touch effect is very real. And here in just a second, I'm going to show you my lighting setup, but I'm going to also show you how you could do this under any lighting, okay? So that is very true. When you find a card, maybe it's a high-dollar card or a mid-tier card, maybe around $100, go to that seller's store. Simply find that seller's name in the listing and click on their name on the right if you're on your web browser, or if you're on your phone. Simply scroll down and find that seller's name and click on it and go and view the rest of their inventory. And maybe they have some smaller cards that a lot of other people may not be so much interested in, but maybe you are interested in because you're on the football card quest. And we diversify our portfolios into a variety of different football players, and bundle some cards together. Build that rapport with the seller. Message them. Communicate with them, express your interest in them, in the cards, not just for the investment value, but focus on the collection aspect, and try and work out a bundle deal. Build rapport with that seller, and of course, always, if you commit to buy something, make sure you pay that seller promptly. That's very important. And this comment is coming at us from Wayne, and he wants us to just keep in mind that Christmas is just around the corner, and that means that the U.S. mail slows down considerably in November through January. It may take 5 to 6 weeks for your cards to make it to a destination from a destination. And I've never seen it take 5 or 6 weeks. Now, I have seen it take approximately an extra week, week and a half during peak times. But maybe I'm just in a good area. I'm not in a rural area. I am living in the city here. So I've not experienced that extent of a delay, but it's something just to be cognizant of and be aware of. And I would say my main takeaway from this is that if you are selling, make sure you know when you sell that car, you print out that label from your printer here at your house, and you put that in the mail. You drop it off and get it in the mail that day or the next day, just as a courteous. Make sure you always get that 100% positive feedback. All right, and this tip is coming at us from BR's Breaks. And he says, as far as eBay buying and selling goes, on the buying side, he says to buy lots. For example, 4 Gronk cards or a lot of optic rookies, etc., are typically almost always a better value. On the selling note, never sell lots. You'll likely get much more money selling cards individually. And I'll speak to this from personal experience because I have listed quite a few lots, and I've sold lots in the past. And I will absolutely agree that you will make more money selling cards individually. So let me give you guys a demonstration of how I take pictures to sell. So with me being a content creator here in my studio, I do have a ring light that I have set up right here behind my computer and my webcam. And so this is projecting light out like this horizontally, and it's a ring fashion. So the ring is kind of like a half semicircle all the way around it, and so it projects pretty decent light out this way. But still, with the card flat on the desk, that still is going to create a reflection off the card. So what I do is I get something. I use my little smooth sleeves box here. You could use any type of little package. You could even use the edge of your laptop, or what you can do is you can go and get yourself a little clear plastic card stand from Amazon Prime, and get that for less than $10. And this is what you would need if you're using overhead light. So if you have light hanging from over top of the card and the card is flat, we talked about that is going to create a reflection. So what you do is you get you one of those little card stands, so then you can prop that card up at approximately a 60 to 70 degree angle. So the goal is to get the reflection off of the surface of the card. And to do that, you have to face the face of the card away from the light. Not completely, because you still want, like I said, the prism and the colors illuminated, but you want to face it away to where the light is shining horizontally. So with my light here horizontally, I just prop it up a little bit on something small, and then I'll take my picture of the front and the back in the one touch. And that's something I've recently discovered that I just started doing. The one touches are expensive, so I reuse them card to card. I don't send them out with the listings. I put in the description, this card does not come with the one touch. It's shipped out in a penny sleeve, a top loader, and typically if it's anything like this kind of card that I'm going to sell for like $40, $30, $40, something like that, then I'm definitely going to use the $3.25 or $3.50 eBay padded envelope packaging, and I'm going to print out my label from eBay here at the house on my printer, and I'm going to put this in a top loader in between 2 pieces of cardboard that I will cut out from a random box, Amazon Prime box, any type of cardboard box that you've got lying around. Cut out a couple pieces, painter's tape that around that card, put that in the padded envelope, put your, tape it up, tape your label on it, and drop it off at the USPS. All right, so going back to the leaderboard of the Card Quest Investor Championship, and we'll kind of go through these to share with you what I learned insight around why some of these cards went down. Midnight McPhee in the 20th position. His quarterback pick was Ryan Tannehill's Prism Base. On July 1st, this was a $25 card. And here on October 5th, this is a $15 card. And Ryan Tannehill really hasn't shown us anything great this season. Julio Jones, A.J. Brown have both struggled with injuries. And but that team is still in first place in the AFC South, and I do believe without a doubt that they're going to make the playoffs. Derrick Henry is pretty much putting that team on his shoulders and going to carry them into the playoffs, quite literally. And so that for that reason alone, I think that Ryan Tannehill is a good investment. He's a tactical scrambler. He does show flashes of greatness on a week-to-week basis, and with his rookie card being a 2012, that makes it pretty rare, and in a Prism format, that is certainly a pretty rare card, very collectible. I think that's a great investment right now, honestly. So by the end of the season, I think this is going to be a good card, but right now that card is down a little bit. His wide receiver pick is Kenny Galladay's base Prism Silver PSA 9. Kenny Galladay struggling with injuries tremendously this year. Really not getting anything special going at all in that New York Giants offense. The spotlight right now in the New York Giants offense is on Kadarius Toney, the 2021 electric rookie from Florida. And so that they drafted in the first round. So that card's down. His running back pick was Cam Akers. We talked about Cam Akers last episode. Him being out for the season, his cards are at dirt cheap prices right now. Looking at the 19th position, that's Bulldog Trading. Bulldog has a really solid quarterback pick. This is Joe Burrow's Optic Hollow at $100 on July 1st. That card really hasn't moved a whole lot. It's currently trading around $90, but this card can be found in some auctions, like we talked about how auctions end much lower, throughout the week and even on the weekends than the buy it now, purchases and solds. This card can be found for around $50 to $60 in some of these auctions, and I think that's a great value. Joe Burrow is fearless, man. He's fearless. He's an incredible leader. He's definitely changed the way Cincinnati Bengals are viewed in the NFL. I mean, he's definitely been a dramatic improvement in that team. The chemistry he has with Jamar Chase is incredible. And right now, Cincinnati Bengals are trending to make a playoff seed this year. It's pretty fun to watch him play, and the dude's incredibly tough, and he makes incredible plays on a week-to-week basis. And so, but that card is just going to take. It's just going to take time to develop. There was an elevated print run on that card, so it's not a base card, but it is not too much more rare than some of the base cards. Some of the when looking at, if you watch my short print run ranks video, looking at the available listings quantities of the Optic Hollow compared to the field level silver, compared to the Prism Silver, compared to the Black Prism Silver, compared to all the different tiers of Select Silver, the Optic Hollow is one of the more printed, silver Prism cards. So with that being taken into consideration, I like the card. I think it's a very liquid card. There are a considerable number of these out there, and so they could continuously pop up for around that $50 to $60 price. The hit rate of these Optic Hollows was elevated in the 2020 Optic set. That was done by design from Panini, based on the timing of the release of Optic. They loaded that product up, and people were pulling Optic Hollows out of that in retail packs and blaster boxes at a pretty good rate. When you look at the supply and demand chart, and I had this question from Tuckleberry Finn because he's been tracking the prices of base Prism cards for a lot of these NFL athletes, and he's noticed that a lot of them have dropped from the start of the season, and that historically has happened. That happened last year. I documented that it happened in 2019 as well, and this is something that just happens, I think, pretty much every year in football. As the initial hype wears off from the beginning of the season, you have an increased number of people in the market, in the hobby at the beginning of the season when everything is so super fresh, exciting, and then as you get a few weeks in, there's a lot of people that are streaky. There's a lot of people that have difficulty sticking with something and being committed to it, continuing to keep it up on a weekly basis. And they fall out of it. They fall out of it for a variety of reasons, whether it's their team is losing, their fantasy team is losing. They realize that selling cards is not just as easy as clicking a couple buttons. There's a little bit of homework involved. There's a little bit of research involved. There's a little bit of due diligence involved, and there's also a little bit of work involved, and maybe there's a variety of reasons why people fall out of it. You also have the basketball season starting up pretty soon. You also have had some injuries happen to players, which is just part of the game. We all deal with that. We're all fans of the game. We don't like to see players injured, but we know it happens every year. Very few of them are career ending, so the player always comes back. And those players that are more injury prone, I tend to stay away from, for those reasons. Or and that's another big reason why you don't want to get greedy at all, and you want to take profits when you can on a rookie card. When you don't have that scarcity multiplier of a base prism, those cards can continuously pop up in any marketplace because there's a lot of them out there. And when that happens, it's hard for the needle to move in a positive direction up on a player's card unless they're absolutely playing at an MVP rate. And even looking at Justin Herbert, recently sold prisms, that card is not going above that $150 that mark. Now, if you look at an extremely rare card from Justin Herbert, that they're not just continuously popping up in the marketplace, they're not just continuously floating around out there, then yes, those cards are getting significantly more and more expensive as we progress through the season, and he continues to play like an MVP caliber quarterback.
Oh, great Scott!
Otherwise, those base cards, even with all this other stuff that Justin Herbert's got going on, it's not going to continue to go up when they just keep popping up in the marketplace, and you have people that have no problem selling that card for $100 to $150 when they probably got it for $20 at this time last year. So it's something to keep in mind. It's a reason why I really pick my spots when investing in players, and I go for the Contenders rookie ticket auto, or one of their autograph cards, or a field level silver, or at least like an optic holo or something short print, to where there's scarcity around that card. I know that the available listings can disappear in a heartbeat, which can in turn cause the resale value of that card to go up dramatically. So that's kind of what I'm looking there for. So Bulldog, with A.J. Dillon's Prism Silver, I think that card is slowly going up. I like that pick there. Jerry Jeudy, he's injured. We expect him to come back before the end of the season, but his field level silver is down right now. All right, looking at the 18th places, Green Bay, the pack opener. His quarterback pick was Jalen Hurts, but it's a base optic, so this card hasn't moved at all in value. And Jalen Hurts is not playing lights out. He's not playing at the level for Justin Herbert or Joe Burrow. He is struggling to be accurate in the passing game. He is very athletic. He's definitely a dual threat quarterback. The Eagles are struggling to win games. Part of that is because of play calling. They're definitely not establishing the run and setting Jalen Hurts up to win. But at the same time, he has shown inaccuracies in his passing game, which has not helped the cause either. Still a lot of promise from him. He's still very early in his career, and he's got a tremendous amount of potential. I love the work ethic and the attitude, the demeanor of this guy. And, I'll quote one of his recent, lines that I think is another reason why I like the guy is, when you lose a game, it's like a deuce, man. You just flush it down the toilet and move on. His quarterback, his wide receiver pick was Kenny Galladay's Prism Base Silver. We talked about him. Cam Akers was his running back pick, so that's why you see him in 18th place. At 17th place is Josh Williams with the Joe Burrow Select Premier, and this is a base card. Even though it's a Premier tier, which is slightly lower print run than the base concourse, it's still a base card, and there was a lot of these made. This card hasn't moved in value at all. His wide receiver pick was DJ Chark's optic base card, and he's injured. His running back pick was James Robinson. Good pick, but you would have wanted to pick James Robinson's rare card, something autographed, something silver, or short print serial numbered, and this one is just a base concourse, so that card hasn't moved at all. In fact, it's gone down just a little bit, and so that's why he's in 17th place. At 16th place, we've got Jorge Acevedo, and his quarterback pick was Teddy Bridgewater's base prism, and this card has gone up. So he's made some money off of that. Denver Broncos are winning. Teddy Bridgewater's the QB1 there. He's a good game manager. He definitely shows some incredible passing ability at points throughout the season here. But he's not prolific, so it's not like this card is just kind of blown out of the water here. It's just gone up just a little bit. If the Broncos continue to win, he continues to play well. They get a playoff seed. This is the kind of card you could see definitely go up a lot more into January. His wide receiver pick, Mecole Hardman, just hasn't broken out. Plus, the Chiefs are losing. This card's gone down a little bit. A.J. Dillon, Prism Silver, his running back pick. A.J. Dillon's definitely, I think, a great long-term investment, but he's very much taken a backseat to Aaron Jones still. He has been getting more and more playing time in the recent weeks, so I look for this card to continue to climb as Green Bay is definitely headed for the playoffs this year. But that puts Jorge at 16th place. Look at 15th place, that's Boomer89. His quarterback pick is Jalen Hurts, Optic Hollow. So it's hollow. Not bad, right? But if Joe Burrow's Optic Hollow is not going up, certainly Jalen Hurts' Optic Hollow is not going up. That hasn't moved at all. His wide receiver pick was CeeDee Lamb, Field Level Silver. This card has not gone up much at all either. There was a ton of hype for CeeDee Lamb coming into the season, as people seem to have forgot about Amari Cooper or forgot about the fact that, there's other weapon. Dalton Schultz has been incredibly involved in the Dallas passing attack, and it's just been a very balanced offense, and Dak has spread the ball around a lot. They've also utilized the running game a lot in Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard. So this card, in fact, has gone down just slightly, based on the recently sold items. And then his running back pick is Jonathan Taylor. I like this. Boomer did a pretty good job in his picks, and I still think by the end of the season, Boomer's going to be in a significant positive spot here. But, Jonathan Taylor is an incredible running back, but there definitely are concerns around the Indianapolis Colts as a whole. Jonathan Taylor's a guy that would benefit big time if the Colts were to get like an Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun Watson or something like that, Then you would see an incredible uptick, And I think by the end of the season, though, just based on Jonathan Taylor's fantasy finish for the year, this card's going to go up in value. But right now, it hasn't moved at all. It's still, around $15 to $20. At 14th place is myself. And so I picked Jalen Hurts field level base. This card hasn't moved at all. And then I picked CeeDee Lamb's field level base as well. This is another card that just hasn't moved at all. And then my running back pick was Nick Chubb Select Concourse. Now, this card has gone up slightly, gone up a little bit, because there is scarcity around a 2018 Select, even the base ones. But all in all, I haven't really moved much at all. If anything, I've just lost slightly a little bit amount of money. At 13th place is Costa Rica Card Collector with the Jalen Hurts Prism base. A lot of Jalen Hurts fans, and myself included, because, him being so athletic and so talented. He was clutch for Alabama in college, and he was just well undervalued, well lower than what a Joe Burrow and a Justin Herbert was, so that made sense to buy him at that low point with the size of the market in Philadelphia and all the potential that he has. So I'm going to continue to kind of stick by that. There's a lot of promise there, but he picked his Prism base. This card hasn't moved at all. He picked the CeeDee Lamb Prism base, another card that just hasn't really moved at all. Actually, it's gone up a little bit from July 1st. That was a $5 card, and that's now a $7 card, so very minimal. But his running back pick was Cam Akers. All right, looking at the number 10, number 11 position was BR's Breaks. With the Tua Mosaic Silver, who hopefully will be back from injury here this week or next, and he can get back to better form, hopefully. But right now, his values are down. Gabriel Davis, Optic Hollow. He's taking a third-string seat behind Emmanuel Sanders and Stephon Diggs. I love the guy. He's got a lot of talent, but Christian McCaffrey is running back, definitely coming back from an injury, so we're looking to get him back on the field this week as well. So I feel good. Could potentially have some good values there by the end of the season, but right now he's in 11th position. At 10th position is David Mercer with Matt Stafford, Topps Chrome base, and he did very good on the Matt Stafford pick, even in a Topps Chrome. See, this is when it's okay to invest in a base card. First of all, Topps Chrome from 2009 is not a base card. That is like, a premium. That's like a Prism Silver, basically, for 2009. The base card from 2009 would just be a base Topps. That's when Topps made a base Topps. They made a Topps Chrome, and then there's also a Bowman Chrome. And the Bowman Chrome's probably got an even shorter print run than the Topps Chrome from that year. This is a very good-looking card. I like both of these cards. That Bowman Chrome is a sweet card, man, from that year, 2009. So when you go back, that's when these base cards become more and more relevant. And the Chrome cards especially are like the super liquid premium ones. So that card's definitely gone up. His wide receiver pick was Chris Godwin's Optic Hollow. This card hasn't moved at all. Antonio Brown's been very much a focal point of our offense, Mike Evans. And so although Chris Godwin's productive on a week-to-week basis, he hasn't been super dominant alpha in our offense. But I do expect that card to go up as the Bucs go into the playoffs. Cam Akers was his running back, unfortunately, so that definitely kind of hurt him with the Optic Hollow there. Overall, that put him in 10th place. At 9th place was Ziggy No, and Ziggy No had another good quarterback pick. Jameis Winston's top Chrome base, which did go up a little bit, but he picked a Topps Chrome, not a Prism, so the increase wasn't as significant. And I think we're still wanting to see more and more from Jameis. That Saints offense is a little suspect, a little streaky. We don't know when they're going to throw Taysom Hill out on the field to vulture a touchdown. His wide receiver and running back picks are kind of what hurt him because he picked Jamar Chase Prism draft picks. Now, this is a great player to invest in, and the cards in his college uniform, though, I would pick would be the Chronicles Optic rated rookie. From what I've seen, the short print parallels of that card do very well because of the look. It's very aesthetic. I like that look, even over his 2021 Donruss. And I talked about this in a recent video and what I've seen in recently solds. This is the case. The same thing with Najee Harris's running back pick. He just picked a Prism draft picks base. And these Prism draft picks just have not done as well, especially because this year they released these really cool inserts from Chronicles draft picks that have rated rookie logos, really aesthetic designs, chrome finishes, optic logos. That's where the demand has gone. So this puts Ziggy, though, in 9th place. At 8th place is Raleigh Owl with the Joe Burrow base Prism. This card really hasn't moved at all for reasons we've already talked about. His wide receiver pick was DK Metcalf's Prism base. This card has gone up slightly. This card is definitely an interesting card for wide receiver because it is trading for around $30 right now, and it has gone up a little bit. That's a nice value for a base Prism of a wide receiver. DK Metcalf, obviously a stud. It's going to be tough for it to continue to go up, though, with Russell Wilson injured for the next 6 weeks, and we'll see what Geno Smith can do, though. Christian McCaffrey was his running back, and we've talked about why Christian McCaffrey, his prices haven't gone up. They really kind of stayed stagnant, maybe gone down just a touch. So Raven Invest at number 7th place with Lamar Jackson's base Donruss. This card has gone up a little bit. Lamar Jackson is putting that team on his shoulders. He's shown that he can throw the ball really well, man. He's thrown some dimes recently. And, man, Lamar Jackson's played really well, all things considered. He just needs to make sure he holds on to that ball. And they continue to win. Those Lamar Jackson prices are going to go up. He's very much in the MVP conversation still at this point. And he was the 2019 MVP. So he was looking like a great buy coming into the season, and so far that has shown to be the case. Calvin Ridley was his wide receiver pick. He's on the Falcons, guys. I hate to say it, but that whole team is struggling. They did win last week, so this was good. But Calvin Ridley didn't even play. He didn't make the plane to London. So I'm bullish on Calvin Ridley. I think his value will probably go up by the end of the year. But this is a base card. This hasn't moved much at all right now. J.K. Dobbins Optic Hollow. J.K. Dobbins, man, that horrific knee injury in preseason. He's done for the year. Overall, though, it puts Raven at number 7th place thanks to the quarterback pick. So I'll see if that trend continues because at number 6 is cards with Luke. His quarterback pick was Teddy Bridgewater's Topps Chrome Silver, so he went with the short print variation. Now, this card did go up, and so that was a good pick. And the reason why is because the quarterback, the elevated spotlight. His wide receiver pick was DK Metcalf's Prism base again. Like we talked about, a tiny increase in that card. But his running back pick was J.K. Dobbins, so this is what hurt him. J.K. Dobbins' value very much down right now. That puts him at number 6 place. At number 5 is the gaming god, L.J. Jackson. And his quarterback pick was Jordan Love's Optic Negative. This is a short print card, so the scarcity is there. This card really hasn't moved at all, though. Jordan Love definitely taking a backseat to Aaron Rodgers for the time being. Maybe by next year, this time, though, it could be a different story. His wide receiver pick was Chris Godwin's Optic Hollow. We talked about that, why that really hasn't moved. His running back pick was Dalvin Cook's Optic Hollow. This card really hasn't moved at all, but based on the scarcity of it, Dalvin Cook is a prolific running back when healthy. Key word there, because Dalvin Cook has kind of notoriously struggled with this questionable injury designation on a weekly basis, kind of driving fantasy owners crazy the last couple weeks. But the Vikings have a pretty decent schedule here coming down the stretch. The Vikings are still very much in contention in the NFC North to grab a wild card spot. I like the prospect of this card to go up by the end of the season, and it has gone up just a little bit here since the beginning, since July 1st. So that puts him in 5th place. All right, let's look at 4th place, and we have a tie for 4th place here between the Man 22 and Jacob Park. The Man 22 had Jalen Hurts Prism Silver, so he went with the scarcity. Unfortunately, this card hasn't gone up for reasons we talked about with Jalen Hurts. Jacob Park, though, had Daniel Jones Silver Premier, Select Premier Silver PSA 9. Now, this card has gone up. Daniel Jones has played incredibly well this season. Unfortunately, he had a hit with a concussion, but he's back this week, guys. He's back this week. He got another decent matchup. Daniel Jones has been playing very good this season, and that's a big market team. That card has gone up in value from July 1st, so he did good there. The wide receiver pick hurt the man because Jerry Jeudy Prism Silver. This card has gone down, right, with Jerry Jeudy injury. Jacob Park's wide receiver pick was Michael Pittman Jr.'s Optic Hollow. This card has pretty much stayed the same, maybe gone down just a tiny bit. There's just not a lot of excitement around the Indianapolis quarterback situation. That would be a big change for Michael Pittman, as he's showed incredible ability at the point of catch. And looking at their running back picks, the man had Jonathan Taylor. Jacob Park had Chase Edmonds. Both running backs trending up in the right direction. But you got to be more excited about the Chase Edmonds scenario on that team and the Cardinals. That card has gone up a couple dollars, so that's promising there. The man's Jonathan Taylor. This card, he went with the Prism Silver, so this was smart because, there's scarcity around that card, but it really hasn't moved a whole lot. So their profits are only about $30 across the board. At 3rd place is Michael Ham with the Sam Darnold Prism base. Sam Darnold has gone up a considerable amount since July 1st, as he's flashed some brilliance in some of these games. It's just difficult for him to keep up the efficiency, but the Panthers have played much better than advertised before the season. So the Panthers as a whole, a lot of players on the Panthers are trending in the right direction. Sam Darnold being a QB, QBs drive the market for the most part. The Chase Claypool Prism Silver was the wide receiver pick for Michael Ham. That card didn't really go up a whole lot. There's a lot of questions around Ben Roethlisberger. They finally got a bounce-back win last week, so that card could fluctuate. Pittsburgh's a huge market. Chase Claypool's an incredible athlete. It's a smart pick. His running back pick, though, hurt him. J.K. Dobbins Prism Silver. All right, looking at 2nd place now, Jackson Klein. Jackson Klein, what did he do for 2nd place? And he's probably not in 2nd place anymore. His quarterback pick was Jalen Hurts Mosaic Base, and this is Jackson Klein's story is an incredible example of finding market inefficiencies. And so Jalen Hurts Mosaic Base, he didn't do anything with that. That didn't move. His wide receiver pick at T. Higgins Optic Hollow, didn't do anything with that. That didn't move. It moved slightly, honestly, because July 1st it was 7, now it's 10, but it really hasn't moved at all. But is doing good, as T. Higgins is an incredible athlete. He's just taking a backseat to Jamar Chase, but the Bengals are winning. But looking at his running back pick in Clyde Edwards-Helaire Black Prism Silver, this card was just very cheap. So he found a market inefficiency and saw that this was a short print card. It's also a running back on a big market team, one of the better teams in the NFL with Patrick Mahomes. and the card was just so cheap on July 1st that it was destined to go up in value. However, now it's probably trending back down after Clyde Edwards-Helaire was just injured, and he's going to miss extended amount of time now, unfortunately. So, but the fact that I documented these prices on October 5th, this card has gone down to was up, so that put him in second place. At first place, though, is Matthew Vescovi. Jets crazy. His quarterback pick was the former Jet, Sam Darnold, his select Premier Silver. So he went with short print and the quarterback definitely came out guns blazing, Carolina. So when I documented this card had gone up considerably because the available listings quickly disappeared and the demand quickly spiked. At the same time, that's a recipe for nice profits. And his wide receiver pick, though, didn't really do anything for him with Calvin Ridley's Prism Base, and the running back pick of J.K. Dobbins Prism Silver didn't really do anything either, but that quarterback pick was on point, and he was able to capitalize big time in that time period between July 1st and October 5th. So that's what netted him first place. We're going to spin up another one of these because I feel there's a tremendous amount of insights gained from watching, studying the movement of these players' raw cards. And I think I'm going to change up the format a little bit to make it a little bit more interesting, to change things up a little bit so we can continue to have fun, continue to learn from the market, and I can continue to share these incredible insights, tips, and tricks with you guys as we go along. Stay tuned. As always, if you guys want to find my picks of the week, my plays of the week, the guys that I'm investing in right now, head over to patreon.com/footballcards, and you'll see my Auction Sniper article from today. You'll also see, my Backstage Pass plays of the week video, and I feel very good about my pick this week, guys. So go check it out. Let me know what you think. I really appreciate all your supports. I'll see you in that next video. Peace. So I've had this fat pack of Donruss here sitting on my desk now for a couple weeks, ever since Filthy C in our Quest Rookie Card League made the bold move to start Davis Mills in his rookie first game performance. Houston Texans going up at that time, the number one rushing defense, top 3 defense in the league through the first couple weeks, the Carolina Panthers, and he was going to start Davis Mills. And so I said, if you get over 20 fantasy points out of Davis Mills in that game, I'll give you this value pack. And ever since then, it's been sitting on my desk, and I've just been burning to open it. And now he's a huge Philadelphia fan. Now tomorrow night, we're playing the Philadelphia Eagles in a big game. Tom Brady's got his thumb heavily wrapped up. This is going to be an exciting game, man. Eagles have a pretty stout defense. I'm absolutely not complacent. I never get complacent because you never know any given Sunday what's going to happen. And so let's go ahead and rip open this pack, man. I'm dying to open it. I don't know what's going to be in here. Let's see if anything. Let's dig into the pack. Let's dig into the pack. 2020, right? It's a fat pack. A lot of cards. Mecole Hardman, Anthony Miller, Trubisky, a couple guys not on the Bears anymore. Montez Sweat having a rough start to the season. CJ Mosley. There's old Sam Darnold. Oh, I see something nice in here. Oh, just a Jake Luton, but this is a optic preview. This would have been considered a preview at the time, numbered at a 99. I got the gloves out because I pulled a Jake Luton optic rated rookie red preview, numbered out of 99 from the fat pack, guys. I think this fat pack may have paid for this self based on the rareness. The centering's bad on that, though.